All right, well, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin,
I'm Tarsha.
and this is, of course, Conversations with the Crawleys, where we have conversations about faith, family, relationships, and we also do recaps, reviews, and commentary of some of our favorite TV shows. This was all about, I messed that up, but we gonna just roll with it. You know what this is. This is Put a Ring on It, Season 3. And if this is content that you enjoy, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe, hit that like, request notifications,
And share.
and we will see you in the comments. All right, so we pick up from the cliffhanger where Charlie was saying that had changed her mind as far as whether or not she was going to go on a date with Chris. And so we pick that up, and she's like, I changed my mind. I'm not going to go on the date with Chris because he wants to take her away from Otis.
I'm like, what? Okay. If you
Charlie,
say so.
Here's the thing.
If you say so.
All of these people are dating with the idea of maybe there could be something there that could maybe take you away. He just told you the quiet part out loud on the first date. Any other date you go on in this process, I don't think any of the guys are looking at you and like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna, if there's a spark, if there's chemistry, they're not gonna try and say, well, I'm gonna respect where you are. No, they're gonna try and spit game.
I'm assuming that's why they decided to knowingly date someone's in a relationship.
Exactly.
But again, I think it's between the two of them and trying to go back tit for tat. She wants him to be jealous.
Right.
And hopefully with him being jealous, he's going to change his ways. But that doesn't work.
No.
Right? Both parties has to communicate, make a decision. I want to be better, not for my significant other, be better for myself. And what people fail to realize, they feel like, oh, this is all for someone else. No, this is for you, because if you don't last in this relationship, you are tend to repeat the same behavior,
the same person
in another relationship. So think about anytime you change something and it's for the better, it could better for your next relationship. Right. So we won't be petty in this relationship.
Now,
so
you might discover something in the relationship that you're in.
Right.
And the other person may bring it out and say, this is what I have need of, and
right.
or what I want, what have you. But that change should never be for that other person. That change should be to better yourself.
Right.
But all right. But then Otis takes his foot and sticks it dead in his mouth, and basically he makes a statement, something to the effect of that the other dude, speaking about Chris, must see her as a weak woman to try and steal her away. The other ladies, of course, jump in, not jump in, but they are like, he's projecting. I kind of get what he was saying, but here's the thing. It might be less about her as a weak woman and you as a trash man.
Potentially. I mean, I guess what he's trying to say is that you have the restraint not to be wooed by him.
Right.
And she's asking, she wants more compliments.
Mm-hmm.
But he makes it more of a put down and saying, babe, you're a strong woman. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, babe, you're a strong woman, he could never do that.
Right. He's like, he thinks you're a weak woman.
She was like, excuse me? No, that's why I was driving when we left last time. And you were around looking in circles trying to find me. Because I was already gone. So who's weak?
You got me going in circles. Yeah.
This is interesting.
So again, I think an underlying issue, one that I just see from watching this, I think Otis really has a problem with women. I think he's very chauvinistic, is my opinion, right?
Yeah. I don't know, but I know in this relationship, he's showing a lot of his weaknesses. And it kind of questions to me, what did she see originally? Because so far we don't know. And it's hard to tell what she saw. Was it all superficial? Was it just his looks? Mm-hmm. Because I felt like she had a really good day with the gentleman who's done doing nonprofit.
Yeah, the one who was running for office. Or
Yeah,
something.
he wants to run for
Wants to
office.
run, right.
For office. I'm like, you want something ambitious? Okay. Now maybe you don't want to be all politics, right?
Possible.
Because that comes with being a wife or whatever. But he seemed very more in tune to what you say you want than what you have.
At least what you say you want.
That's what you say.
So they pretty much they get their homework assignments, they get their dating assignments, and so Shay and Alfonso are at their house, and she basically says she's gonna let him be. She's gonna let him do him because part of what came out, well, that was a little later, but basically Shay, of course, as you know, has been ready to go to blows. She has gotten very petty, what have you, over Alfonso, and it's
I don't think it's worth it so far based off of what he's not doing.
Right.
I'm like, you about to fight this woman over this dude who can't even introduce you? You're upset he won't introduce you to his mother, but you're going to fight over him? Because,
I'm a huge proponent. I don't understand fighting over somebody who's being unfaithful, or you suspect of being unfaithful, or what have you, right?
Or not doing
what they're supposed to do. Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't see that. So anyway, Alfonso goes on a date with Tanisha, who is 33, and she comes to the house, and Shay sits her down. The Shay just like 30 seconds before who said that she was going to let him be and kind of let him just do his thing. This same Shay sits Tanisha down and starts giving her the rules.
Don't touch. Don't text. I'm like, why are you talking? First of all, why are you talking to me? That would be up to whoever you're living in this house with that I came to pick up.
Right.
Those rules for him.
Right.
Now.
And here's the thing. That's rules for him that if they do go on a date, when they do go on a date, that if she does touch him, to say, you know what, let's keep it, keep it G, don't touch me, what have you.
Right.
That's up to him to say. That's not on Shay to let her know about.
No, we're talking about person.
Right.
Again, all your actions are towards the wrong person. Dr. Nicole is stating
She's bringing that up and saying that, yeah.
Listen, let him have the ability to make whatever mistakes he's going to make.
And deal with the consequences of the mistakes that he makes.
And that could be losing you. Because the more we try to hold on to something, we end up killing it. Because we choke it out, whatever. I'm just saying. You holding on so tight.
Yeah, Shay do look like she could choke out. She would try and choke out.
Listen, this is what gets women behind bars. I'm sorry. Because they get so upset because this man is not doing what they want. This man is cheating on them and stuff. And so you have them on Fatal Attraction. What's that on? TNT? What show did that come on?
Lifetime.
It comes on some show.
Lifetime got all the.
You be the next episode of Fatal Attraction because you get so tied up in this person doing not doing what you want.
Or was that BET?
Was it BET?
I know BET had something like that too for a while.
Yeah, they got some new shows, some freaky stuff with people get outrageous and angry and kill their spouse and stabbing them over crazy stuff. Don't be that person.
Nope.
Don't be that. Don't do it.
Don't you be that person.
Listen.
And I won't be that person. So anyway, he goes.
You know what to do because you know what the consequences are. I'm gonna let you do what you're gonna do. See what you want.
Right.
Face those consequences.
So Tanisha goes on her date, and as she's walking away, after she meets Alfonso, as she's walking away, Shay is like, "I see cheeks." She's like, "Them shorts is a little too short."
Again, them shorts wasn't for her. She was
for her. They just wasn't for her.
She's like, "This is my dating outfit."
Because she was like, "Why she got those shorts on? It's 10 degrees outside."
Hey.
So they go to a sushi making class in a chef's house.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't at a restaurant, whatever. It's cool, whatever.
Yeah.
They do talk. She is attracted to him, is what she says. He kind of is like, I like natural women. And it's kind of like the way he was saying it was like.
I thought it was he trying to say she wasn't natural?
Well,
somewhere?
I think her response, the way she looked at him, kind of let me, at least spoke to me that maybe she has had some work done.
Oh,
Because he kind of like backed off from it a little. He was like, I do, he's like, I like the tiger claws, I like the stretch marks, what have you. He's like, all that other stuff is good, but I like the natural. Because
right.
her face was kind of like, oh, okay.
I was like, okay, I didn't see anything out of place to say, but hey, I don't know.
He was able to see, so
Okay,
don't know.
So-
Uh,
but that's kind of, and I'm like, why do you have to go that far? Like, obviously, if someone has a child, that's just tendency to be, But he's like, I gotta, if you got some stretch marks, ooh, baby.
yeah, he's like them tiger claws, little, yeah, that's what I like. Hey. So they discuss blended family because she has a child.
Yeah.
And so they kind of have that conversation about how things would be,
Mm-hmm.
kind of having the conversation because he wants to eventually, Fonzo says he eventually wants to get to the place where there's just one birthday party for the kids and just one celebration instead of having one at mommy's house, one at daddy's house, and maybe one at grandma's house, right?
And I'm wondering, because we seen her in action, is some of this on Shay?
That's possible.
Because she blew up and she didn't even know this lady, and they were assigned these dates.
Right.
Now, is there something on her side where she's blown up or try to fight the mama?
Granted, we do know that Fonzo did not handle the end of that relationship properly. He kind of just let it phase out.
It just fades away.
It faded away. Let all the other dates fade away.
Oh no!
Yeah, I went gospel on that one. All right. So, but yeah. So it's interesting if there's two sides, three sides to the story, right? So it's interesting. She asked for a second date because she's feeling him, and he's like, "Well, that'll be to be continued, right?" So then Otis and Charlie are at their place and they're doing their homework assignment and they're supposed to write down a list of their wants and their needs, right? So Otis is making his list of what he wants and what he needs. Charlie is making her list of what she wants and what she needs.
Right.
So she goes first as far as what we can see. She says she wants quality time. Gaslighter Otis basically says, we already have quality time. We spend all the time together. She comes back and says, yes, I hear that, but that's not really the quality time to which I'm referring. Right. I want ... Well, then I want that too. You're not giving that to me because when you do this, so at midnight. So he takes her want and need and then again plays himself as victim to it in some respects.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't know what we're not comprehending. It's like, how old are we? I just really need to know.
Yeah.
Because you want to indicate like, what is your needs? And she's trying to like, well, that's not what this is about. This is about what you need and what I need. How can we meet each other's need? Because we say we love each other.
Right.
So if we say we love each other, the goal is how can we try to meet each other's needs? But we have to communicate that for us to know that, to make sure that our relationship is growing.
Right.
But that's an issue.
Yeah, because they both are petty.
Oh yeah,
I'm giving them petty. I'm not going to sit here and just say it's all on Otis.
No, it's equal. It's equal, but I see her effort. So I'm giving her a better grade because there's effort. Like, okay, this is what I want. And I'm trying to hear out what Dr. Nicole says. And I'm trying to really apply what I'm hearing.
So, yeah, I would say Otis is the emperor of petty. She's more the princess of petty.
A princess.
I think, in some respects, I think her pettiness is in response to his pettiness.
That's possible.
So,
that's possible.
Then Shorty goes on a date, her third date with Tavi.
Yeah.
They first go dancing, have a nice little dancing lesson.
Yeah.
And she talks about how she likes being taken out of her comfort zone, that was something that was different for her. And, And he starts to ask the questions. Okay, this is date 3.
So
Where we at?
right, you know,
What's
because
this?
obviously he can start developing feelings,
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
If he turns out that he does like her and different stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I think that's important.
And she basically is like, well, if we have a 4th date, wouldn't that be almost like me cheating? And it's like, but the whole process is to figure out whether you want to stay put
Right.
or if there's something else that you want to explore.
Correct.
And I'm sorry, we already know that this is your way of breaking up with Kenny.
Oh, you think this is?
I think that this show
Oh,
is her way of breaking up with him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And part of it, one, it's kind of shady, what have you, but also, if we're honest, because I know in the comments you all have been reminding that this is the same Kenny that, according to Shorty, stalked her,
Mm-hmm.
took her keys, those type of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this might be a safer way, if you will. Now, I don't mean safer as in like violent or anything of that
Mm-hmm.
nature, but it might be the more clean break that she might be looking for. But I'm kind of the mindset. I don't know that where things are right now, and the way that she's talking to him, they're gonna get to the end, and I think both of them gonna be like, "No, we good."
Right. Well, I think from the original situations that she expressed, because this is the only reason why we're aware of what he has done,
right.
and also that he went through her bank account and was taking photos and all this other stuff.
Yep.
Which I felt was inappropriate.
Absolutely.
And so, with that being the case, I felt like she should have done this a long time ago. Now, we're getting only this information from Shorty. You know, one of her friends says, well, he's just passionate. There's a difference in being passionate about someone and crossing the line.
Yeah.
And you want to hear your friends out, but at the end of the day, you the one that got to deal with a restraining order.
Yeah.
Because she ain't showing up at the house. I'm not calling her saying, like, you know, he's at my house. What's she going to do?
Right.
Talking about he passionate. Well, you can take his passionate self and you come and deal with him.
Right.
So I feel like...
Because when I call his mama, she don't do nothing.
See, this is the thing. If you feel like you have to call an adult... according to the state that they live in and his driver's license, he's supposed to be acknowledged as an adult.
No, I'm saying when you call an adult. In other words, his mama.
Right. Telling him to do different, then if the mama can't say, well, baby, you need to find someone else. If you have to call me to ask him for me to do something, I think it's on her to be the bigger person and saying it's not working. Same thing with Kenny. Like his brother said, you gonna be a puppet or not? Mm-hmm. Because she makes some accusations and he's like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. So Kenneth does have his meeting with Dr. Nicole.
Yes.
And one of the things that he makes a statement that I'm like, yeah, I can see that. He says he feels like his voice is being taken from him.
Yeah.
It definitely in the conversations that they have in group and even just the conversations that he and Shorty have, I can say right. I see that for him. Right. I see how he can feel that way.
Right.
Okay. But Dr. Nicole basically was like, well, you all both have patterns that are toxic. Mm-hmm. And you just keep repeating the same patterns, mm-hmm. the same toxic patterns. Mm-hmm. And she, you know, I think we've kind of talked about this, but I think the patterns are on both sides. So it's not like it's all him being toxic or all her being toxic. They both have toxic actions mm-hmm. and toxic mm-hmm. traits in this relationship. Mm-hmm. So then, good.
Now you just don't want to stay caught up in that, but it's 3 years in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't. I don't deal with toxicity. I can't. All right. So then Shay goes on a date with DJ Silvernight from Detroit.
But he lives in Atlanta, right?
He lives in Atlanta.
Yeah, now. Yeah.
Didn't we see somebody else from Detroit? The other girl that was about to swing a plate.
Yes. Yeah. She's from Detroit.
So Detroit invading Atlanta. Mm-hmm.
Hey. You gotta get some plates warm.
Listen. Chicago has invaded Phoenix. Milwaukee has invaded Phoenix. Why not have Detroit invade Atlanta?
Okay.
Why not? But he has a 1 year old, so
Mhm.
there's the conversation again of how that would work as far
Mhm.
as,
Right.
and because it's a, the child is a 1 year old, Shay has, and would be rightfully so. Okay, what's the situation with the mother of your child?
Correct.
Because it's not like we're talking about an 8, 9 year old. This is a
Right.
1 year old, so
Right.
obviously still kind of fresh.
Yeah.
So,
Right. And he indicates, he's like, I let that person know, or my baby mama know that I have someone that I'm really serious about that's going to be a part of my life
mhm.
and that's going to be, around.
Yep.
And she looking like surprised, like, what?
Mhm.
Really? That's what you would do? He was like, yeah. Because she's like, well, my situation isn't that way. Well, he was bold enough to say, well, he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing.
He doing what he do.
So he playing games, girl. But who knows?
Yep. So they all then meet up again in group.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie and Otis, of course, talk through their situation.
Mm-hmm.
And she talks about how she feels judged by Otis.
Mm-hmm.
So Dr. Nicole, asking questions and of him, and he realizes that yes, he could have approached it differently as far as their homework.
Mm-hmm.
So Otis has these aha moments
At the
at late, right? It's like it takes him 2 days to be like, aha, I get it now. That's not gonna work, bruh. That doesn't work.
You need to pick it up.
You need to,
or someone needs to give it to you early. So when it's time to do it, you ready. That's very confusing to me. Why that takes so long? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and then Shay, being Shay, having Shay moments. Dr. Nicole again reiterates that Fonzo needs to make the rules for himself on how he handles, just kind of like we talked about.
Right.
He's got to make the decision if he's going to be connected with Shay. He's the one that needs to say, okay, no touching, no exchanging of phone numbers, no whatever, right? And Shay is, she's like, but I still feel I need to do this. So I think some of this is, in my opinion, for Shay and Alfonso, I think some of this is playing to the camera.
You think so?
I think so.
Interesting.
I think so.
Yeah, because she's like, you told us we can take baby steps. She said no. I said steps.
You said baby steps.
You said baby steps.
Yeah.
So it's potentially, it could be very dramatic and they're drawing it out, but the issue's the issue.
Right.
If you magnify it or you don't magnify it, the point that you feel like you need to control everything so that you're safe and secure.
Right.
Because basically you're saying you're not secure in your relationship.
Right.
You're saying that you want to have trust. And so the only way you can do that is control your situation. And a lot of times when women feel like they got to control the situation, they end up in these type of relationships or end up having these arguments with their significant other because they think this is going to protect their heart. And it's not.
Nope.
It's not. Yeah, because if you really want to see who he is, you need to allow him to be.
Absolutely. So
we just got a lot of moments we don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, because it's like some of this is just like, y'all really haven't thought about this, right?
Well, who does? Let's give. No one teaches us how to be in a relationship.
True.
So you're learning this,
because you
I don't
really
want to be critical and judgmental. Like, oh, they should know this. I
get that, because actually, the way you learn about relationships is by what you see modeled.
Correct.
And that either gives you the clues of how to do.
Correct.
Or it shows you what you don't want in a relationship.
Correct.
That's how you learn about relationships. You learn by what you see modeled in front of you. So whether that be mom and daddy, grandma and grandpa, whomever you saw in committed relationships, that informs how you view relationships.
And again, if we're not teaching our kids, like if they're isolated or they feel like they got to do everything on their
Mm-hmm.
own, and you're not bringing out to them, even when they're single, like, hey, you need to socialize. Hey, you're spending a lot of time alone, or you sure do take a lot of suggestions from your friends. What are your own thoughts?
Right.
I think a lot of times we're not molding our children enough when we see attributes that could affect a relationship one way or another.
And you getting committed really quickly.
Right.
You went on 2 dates and y'all now engaged.
Right. That's right. Like, take a break. Like, what do you want? What do
Right.
you want in a relationship?
Right.
You know, obviously there's nothing wrong with dating, but why do you have to get so serious so soon?
Right.
What is it about you? And I put it back on them. What is it about you that you feel like you have to be so committed so soon? And we're talking to our own children. Why do you feel like you have to be committed so soon?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you feel like you got to have all these connections so quickly and make them think for themselves?
Yeah.
So we don't want them every time we turn around, like, what's her name? Like, I just saw somebody else come in the door. What is this? You know? So it's like, I don't think we want to be critical and judgmental, like, oh, they should know this.
True. I got that. Yeah.
I think what we have to understand is what can we take that I remember being 20 or in my 20s and trying to figure out that because I didn't have a dad in my life, that being controlling is not going to solve my issues. It's not going to keep me from losing a potential mate or doing things trying to feel like I'm holding on to my marriage when I could be potentially losing it.
Right.
I think this is very clear to help people to say, okay, what am I seeing that I have done or doing and I need to change? Right. So
yeah. All right. Well, and then they do, as far as next week, it looks like they can only now date either someone that they are currently dating or potentially bring back somebody that maybe they let go and then maybe now they're seeing that it could, just want to maybe investigate further. So we'll see, because we're closer to the end of the process.
I think we got 3 more episodes
like
potentially
that.
like that, and obviously the cliffhanger is we may not be together,
Right.
I don't know if any of these couples, maybe Alfonso and Shay might work out. I think because Alfonso keeps saying he can't live without her.
Right.
But again, he might need some continuing counsel to help him to navigate and how to communicate and effectively talk to all these women that he has in his life.
Yeah. So my predictions already.
Oh, okay.
Hitting y'all with them early.
Okay.
Shorty and Kenny, Dunzo. It's a wrap. No. Fonzo and Shay, yes. He will propose at the end.
Okay.
Charlie and Otis, I feel like he would propose at the end.
Right.
I don't know that she'll say yes.
I think she would say yes.
It depends upon if he did something petty 3 hours before.
Just because when you're in a cycle, you don't know how to get off the wheel. It's like, I don't know how many people remember Double Dutch. A lot of people could jump in,
but they couldn't jump out.
They couldn't jump. The whole goal was to be able to jump out and not the rope not to stop. If y'all don't know what Double Dutch is, look it up. Look it up. But you can get in good, but you have to time it to get out just right.
Right.
And I don't know if they're willing to stop what they're doing to realize either we're going to work together to fix it.
Sorry.
Or we need to get on our merry way. What?
I'm just Double Dutch. I'm just like, dude.
You got to be skilled to be able to get in. Was like, okay, then you got to get out so that another person could get in. Because someone was trying to get in while you were getting out. Because he played all the different games.
Okay. Listen, we remind y'all of Double Dutch.
You remember the song? Double Dutch.
Bus coming down the street. Yeah.
Get up. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. We'll leave that.
We on one today.
Listen. All right. Well, listen, that's it for this recap. Listen, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, hit the notifications, and like and all of that fun stuff. We got some other shows that we're trying out as well that we want to see, guy. We're gonna do a review of Love Match Atlanta and Love and Marriage DC. So definitely make sure you stay connected to the channel so that you can get all of the latest reviews of what we're watching. All right, that's it. Have a great one. We'll see you next time. Be blessed.
Bye.